Over the last year, I found myself doing more and more interviews in a variety of spaces. It could be man on the street type content or hotel room interview setups. However, no matter the environment, a few things remain true. It was just me doing the audio and the video, which meant I needed stuff that would be quick and easy to set up and also allow some room for error because I couldn't hop between a bunch of devices and manage a bunch of equipment at once. Thus, I waited ever so patiently for the Deity DXTX to be released, with a bit of doubt coming from the disappointment that was the DLTX, and a bit worried about whatever legal quagmire Deity had gotten into that prevented their products from being released in the US. However, thanks to our AliExpress overlords, I finally was able to pick one up, but is this a flop or a fine piece of kit? So yes, of course, I did buy this with my own money. So the DXTX has the same build shape and size of any standard plug-on transmitter. One thing to note is that unlike other XLR plug-in devices, it does not have that locking mechanism that you usually see with XLR cables and devices that has that button release. It uses this kind of flaring that I do worry will wear out with repeated use, but only time will tell. Like other Deity devices, you do have an LED screen and buttons for the menu. Thankfully, this LED screen is a bit recessed into the build, providing a bit of protection for the screen. There is, of course, a detachable SMA antenna port if you're going to be using this as a transmitter device, and you can use a variety of AA batteries with this device as well. It comes with a micro SD card which fits inside the battery area. Finally, there is a USB-C port which you can use to power the device or use it as a USB audio interface. Quick note, there is also a modification for this device to enable it to work with stereo microphones. I didn't pick that up because I don't have a stereo microphone and I won't really be able to comment on that feature. Like most Deity devices, the hardware is great. It's when you have to use the software that things become a problem. Now, since this device is only available for purchase outside the United States, you won't be limited to just only transmitting or recording. You can do this both simultaneously. So if you say you wanted to check your levels and you couldn't see the device because maybe it was on a boom arm or something, you can check it with the receiver. But what if you don't have the receiver or you didn't want to bring it? But you can also use the Deity app or the Citus Audio app. Now, I do have to say it seems like the DXTX is using a better version of Deity's proprietary Bluetooth codec. I think it's called BitConnect, as the meters on the app are a bit more responsive but not quite real time. What is shockingly low latency is the Bluetooth transmit feature. You can actually hear a preview of your audio via your phone, via whatever speakers or whatever audio output device you have connected. But of course, this has some trade-offs. The audio quality is quite bad. Don't expect this to be used for critical listening, but rather to make sure that you're not clipping or that you're just getting a signal in general. Probably most annoying is when you activate this monitoring, it actually covers and disables the audio meters in the app. But why would you be worrying about clipping in a 32-bit float recorder that also has a limiter on the transmitter? Well, that's because you have to crank the gain a lot higher than expected, especially for dynamic microphones. It also retains the annoying gain adjustments of other Deity devices, which means that you have to increase in increments of 3 dB. So if you're looking to keep a low noise floor, I'd recommend combining this device with something like a FET head, even for phantom power microphones. But of course, then you start to lose that portability factor with this device. Other features like timecode syncing and automatic frequency selection for transmission works well just the same as with the DLTX devices. While the marketing boosts a 250-foot Bluetooth range, I really wouldn't put devices more than 20 feet away from each other if you're using it with the app, especially if you need to sync timecode across multiple devices. I tested all this with an iPhone 15 Pro Max, so your experience may vary. There's also the usual quirks with using the USB-C connection. If you want to transfer files from the device, you have to enable the card reader from the device itself. However, the plug-and-play audio device from the USB-C works flawlessly, and it works on both PCs and mobile devices. To get a sense of the audio quality, I recorded this whole video using the DXTX with a condenser microphone, but I also did use the FET head to kind of get that bit of gain boost. Ultimately, I do enjoy the DXTX more than the DLTX, but that may just be my preference for using boom microphones over lavalier microphones. So the big question is, will this improve your audio setup? Well, if you're looking to do a super pro version of, say, Tokyo Sims, then maybe, but you probably also don't want drunk people potentially spewing on your $1,000 mic setup. Now for the target audience of this, which is probably the working professional, one-man band type deal, I think all the quirks of the app might be too troublesome to deal with, especially compared with the streamlined integration of a system like the Sony UWP system, which can pair transmitters and receivers via NFC and also communicates directly with the camera, so you get kind of auto gain control with that. Ultimately, the audio this device produces isn't bad, but at this price range and below, producing solid audio really isn't enough, especially when you see more and more devices like DJI mics appear in professional environments. Ultimately, helpful features and ease of use to get good enough audio is what is key, as professional industries that would be normally jazzed by this type of device kind of slowly erode under the weight of those who would prefer good enough or cheap solutions. However, let me know what you think in the comments. I think I'll give this device a bit of a longer shot before it ends up in the land of Carousel or eBay or Facebook Marketplace, depending where you are in the world. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.